Your doctors never told you this. Ancient Egyptians didn't believe the heart was the seat of the soul. They believed it was the gut. They removed the brain during mummification and threw it away. Every other organ they preserved carefully. The liver, the lungs, the stomach, the intestines, the brain, they scooped it out through the nostril with a metal hook and discarded it like waste. For 3,000 years, historians called this a mistake, a primitive misunderstanding of human anatomy. Turns out the Egyptians weren't wrong. They were just 3,000 years ahead of everyone else. In 1996, a Columbia University neuroscientist named Michael Gershon published a book that the medical establishment was not ready for. He called it the second brain. What he had spent 30 years documenting was this: your gut contains approximately 500 million neurons. Your spinal cord contains about 100 million. The network of nerve cells lining your digestive tract is so vast, so structurally complex, so capable of independent operation that it functions as a complete nervous system on its own. It does not need your brain to tell it what to do. It does not wait for instructions. It runs itself.
Gershon called it the enteric nervous system. The rest of the scientific world spent the next decade arguing with him. By 2010, they had stopped arguing.
But here is what nobody told you. This system doesn't just digest food. It generates roughly 95% of all the serotonin in your body. Serotonin is the chemical most directly linked to your mood, your sense of calm, your ability to feel that things are going to be okay. The drug class prescribed most often for depression works by targeting serotonin, and almost none of that serotonin lives in your brain. It lives in your gut. It was always there.
The vagus nerve runs from your brainstem directly down into your abdomen. It is the main communication highway between your two nervous systems. Scientists assumed for most of modern history that it carried signals downward, brain to gut, orders moving one direction. Then they actually measured it. 80 to 90% of the signals traveling along the vagus nerve move upward, gut to brain. Your second brain is not receiving instructions. It is sending them.
This changes everything you think you know about how decisions are made.
When you walk into a room and something feels wrong before you can explain why, that is not intuition in any mystical sense. That is your enteric nervous system processing environmental signals and sending an alert upward before your conscious brain has finished forming a single thought. The feeling in your stomach when you are about to make a decision you know is wrong is not a metaphor. It is a report. Your gut made the assessment first. Ancient cultures built entire medical systems around this knowledge. In traditional Chinese medicine, the digestive system has been considered a second center of intelligence for over 2,000 years. The Japanese concept of hara, located in the lower abdomen, was understood as the physical seat of awareness and personal power, not the skull. Samurai were trained to breathe from the hara, to make decisions from the hara, to center themselves there before combat. The word for gut feeling in Japanese, haraseg, literally translates to stomach feeling. This was not poetry, it was anatomy.
Ayurvedic medicine, practiced in India for at least 3,000 years, held that digestion was not just a physical process, but a cognitive one. That what you ate directly produced what you thought, that a disturbed gut produced a disturbed mind. They built pharmacological systems around feeding the second brain before the first one. Modern science spent 2 centuries dismissing all of this as superstition. Then, the microbiome research began. In the last 15 years, researchers have discovered that 38 trillion microorganisms live inside your gut. That number slightly exceeds the total number of human cells in your entire body. These organisms produce neurotransmitters. They regulate immune response. They communicate directly with your enteric nervous system. And in study after study, their composition has been linked to anxiety, depression, cognitive clarity, and decision-making capacity. In 2015, researchers transplanted gut bacteria from anxious mice into calm mice. The calm mice became anxious. The behavior transferred with the bacteria, not through genetics, genetics, not through environment, through the gut.
In 2019, a study published in Nature Microbiology analyzed gut bacteria samples from over 1,000 people and found that 2 specific bacterial species were consistently absent in people diagnosed with depression. Absent, not reduced, gone. Your mood is not only in your head. It never was. So why did modern medicine take this long?
The answer is the same answer it always is. We built our entire model of the human body around a single assumption. The brain at the top, everything else receiving orders below it. The hierarchy was so clean, so logical, so satisfying that contradicting it required decades of evidence nobody wanted to collect. The Egyptians discarded the brain because they trusted what they could feel. They felt the gut. They felt it process grief and fear and hunger and love. And they were right.
Your body has been running 2 operating systems this entire time. One you were told about in school. One that has been quietly making decisions, regulating your emotions, and sending reports upward your entire life. The second brain was never discovered. It was just finally admitted. It was just finally admitted. The second brain was never discovered. It was just finally admitted.